Latvijā viesojās Kregs Patons, daudzkārt apbalvotās interaktīvās un digitālās reklāmas aģentūras Rīgā izpilddirektors, kas jau vairāk kā 15 gadus sekojas līdzi tendencēm interaktīvai komunikācijai internetā, mobilajos tālruņos un interaktīvajā televīzijā, kur īpaša loma ir digitālajiem mēdījiem un jaunajām tehnoloģijām. Viņš dalījās savā pieredzē, kā tehnoloģija attīstība ietekmē mūsu ikdienas komunikāciju, gan savā starpā, gan arī saziņā ar dažādām organizācijām un kompānijām.
I think there's a number of things that have occurred over the last, again, 20 or so years. One is the absolute power or capacity to process information has fundamentally changed, and particularly in the case of things like mobile devices and what have you, which give organizations like us and brands like the ones that we work with opportunities to develop many different things that can engage an audience. So in terms of what technologies are dominating, I think it's more a case of the internet as a concept, and particularly the World Wide Web as a medium, has fundamentally changed the way in which people use technology as a part of their everyday lives. And on the basis of that, we need to find ways in which we can connect with them better.
Krega pirmais iespējas Rīgā bija tāds, ka mēs ikdienas saziņā maz izmantojam oriģinālus un novatoriskus komunikāciju risinājumus. Lai gan viņa pamata darbība ir saistīta ar savu klientu biznesa veicināšanu, izmantojot modernajām tehnoloģijām atbilstoši daudz personiskākus un efektīgākus mārketinga risinājumus, likās interesanti dzirdēt viņa domas, kā šajā informācijas pārsātinātajā laikā iespējams pievērst sev uzmanību, radot jēgpilnu vēstījumu un reakciju uz to.
As an organization, I guess our perspective about the traditional model of advertising is fundamentally different. This idea that the most efficient means to deliver a story is to interrupt another story is something that we don't necessarily believe in as a concept. We've seen, and we'll make the point a little later today, the argument that we've seen the effectiveness of that sort of way of going to market as a brand as being less and less effective over the last 10 to 15 years, which goes back to understanding what people are doing, what they're looking to experience, and then organising yourself accordingly is really the approach that we're advocating brands take. At its broadest sense, what we as an organisation are keeping our eye on is what are the new things as technology that are coming out. And it's not about gadgets, and it's not about last night's announcement of the iPad 2 necessarily, or this, that, or the next thing. It's really at its broadest sense, what is technology that is kind of coming out into the marketplace on a day-to-day basis that is affecting the way in which people interact with their peers. So what is its impact on their lives? We're keeping an ongoing and ever constant visual eye on what that is. So what's now is really about technology. In our one is technology that's being in the marketplace for some time, but it's being used for different things. So Facebook and Twitter weren't here 5 years ago. We're observing those things for what the effect and impact they have had on people's lives, in order to try and understand how we can work with our clients to become a part of that. And the filter we're applying at the moment is this notion of contexts. So if you're in the business of providing information, well, then you need to be aware of how powerful things like Twitter and Google and other things are in terms of mediating information. You need to understand how they work in order to play a meaningful role in those environments. If your business is about selling things to far off countries, then you need to understand how Amazon and how clients like Nike with their Nike ID program and what have you have fundamentally shifted the way in which people want to buy things and what they expect when they want to buy things. It's looking at them through those lenses of these 10 contexts that we've looked at.
Reklāmas aģentūras Rīgā portfolio ir Nike ID kampaņa, kur ik viens varēja pats sev uzmodelēt apavus, izvēloties sev vēlamo krāsu un modeli. Nike futbola head-to-head kampaņa, kur futbola fani varēja salīdzināt savus spēles rezultātus ar savu favorītu spēles rezultātiem un uzlabot savu sniegumu, noskatoties video apmācību internetā. Oriģināli bija jauno Droid mobilo tālruņu kampaņa, lai pievērstu uzmanību to raksturojošo balss meklēšanas funkciju. Tās ietveros Ņujorkā Times Square'ā ik viens varēja zvanīt ar mobilo tālruni uz noteiktu numuru un ar balss palīdzību atrast sev vēlamo netālu esošo iestādi un pakāpojumu sniedzēju, kas ar atbilstošu tehnoloģiju palīdzību uzreiz projicējās Times Square reklāmas monitoros, radot neaizmirstamu piedzīvojumu.
I think the most widely deployed technology today is a mobile phone. There's 7.3 billion people on the planet today, of which nigh on 50 to 60% of them have access to a connected device in some way, shape or form. So it's a phone, generally takes the format of a phone, which has the ability to connect with remote services elsewhere. It has a screen, and that is more broadly or more widely distributed than is radios, are televisions, and in fact are posters. So as a technology, I would say the barriers to entry are relatively low and are pretty broadly distributed. What wins out in one country over another in terms of the mindset of the brands and the marketing directors within those organizations is more dominant than what is the reality of their situations oftentimes. Our argument is that the fact that there is this stuff out there that people are using on a day-to-day basis has changed a way in which companies interact with their consumers. Consumers, or their customers as they are today, have a voice. They are pushing back into these organizations. They are effectively changing the way in which organizations traditionally had to communicate with them. What's happening is that companies are being forced to think through what is the result of spending money on telling people how wonderful you are. What happens when they come back and tell you that you aren't? And that's really around trying to work out how the organisation is designed to be able to accommodate this push and pull relationship that is now developed.
Pēc sarunas ar Kregu vēlreiz secinu, ka jaunās tehnoloģijas ietekmē mūsu ikdienas komunikāciju, taču galvenais ir tas, cik radoši mēs tās spējam pielietot. Proti, viss sākas ar ideju un tai sako risinājums, kas sākotnēji var šķist neiespējams. Šajā saistībā British Council jau 3. gadu pēc kārtas rīko konkursu jaunajiem uzņēmējiem un komunikācijas speciālistiem, lai veicinātu oriģinālu biznesa ideju ieviešanu. Par to stāstīsim turpmākajos sižetos, iepazīstoties ar Latvijas jauno uzņēmēju radošajām un veiksmīgajām biznesa idejām.